Earliest memories of working together, I would say probably building decks. We had a stint there that you built a lot of decks. And I remember I was always like chomping at the bit to drive the skid steer around. You would always do like the fine grading and the stuff that I didn't know how to do at, I don't know how old I was.
About eight.
Yeah. And then you would be carrying boards and framing decks, and I'd always have the post hole digger just like trying to hold on to it. And we built a lot of decks.
Yeah, we did a lot of remodeling. Yeah, decks and remodeling, and that's basically where he cut his teeth. He swung hammer, ran saws, under supervision, of course. Then once we got into the electrical business, you were about 12. You know, you started bending pipe and pulling wire and drilling holes through studs. Remember almost breaking yourself in half on the whole hog? Yeah.
Flipping myself over.
We talked about that earlier. Yeah, he flipped himself over in a somersault with a big drill.
Yeah, that basement we did, we cut like the crawl space wall out, dropped it on tires, chipped it up into tiny little pieces by hand, brought those out basement like well window.
A conveyor.
Conveyor. Brought all the rocks out, and then by hand dug out probably 8 foot, probably a 20 by 20 room.
So it was like 12 by 12 or 14 by 12 of solid clay. What we did was we excavated a crawl space under a house and turned it into a room in this guy's basement. But we had to cut a foot-thick concrete wall and drop the concrete wall on the tires in his basement. So it was, it was a very ambitious undertaking. But every day he was out there.
Yeah, during that project, I remember, there was a lot of heavy stuff and a lot of dangerous stuff. Were you ever worried about my safety during that?
Yeah, I was, I was concerned all the time. That's why I kept you out of the, out of the worst of it. And I was very hyper aware, if you will, of where you were and what you were doing at all times. You never got hurt on a job that we did for a client. I do recall the one time you fell through the roof. You fell through the ceiling when we were roofing our house. Yeah, he stepped off a roof rafter and went right through the dryling into my bedroom, hit the dresser and bounced off and landed on the floor. Yeah. I went right after him. That was the one big scare that we had, being on construction projects.
That hurt.
And I think you were about 12. You were about 12.
I landed right on the corner of the dresser. I remember I had a birthday party that night. And I went to, and I was like limping around. I had this huge gash on my back and like bruise on my back. And I show up to the birthday party, like, what happened to you? I'm like, I fell through the roof. They're like, what?
Yeah, you had a lot of great stories to tell us.
Stupid boy tricks.
Yeah, stupid boy tricks. Every school has a kid that the teacher goes to and says, hey, can you make this projector work? Well, you were that kid. Yeah. That's all you ever wanted to do was mix sound, run lights, run projection. You were the tech kid. So when I had the opportunity to quote that, auditorium, and I saw the theatrical component, I thought, why shouldn't we bring you in and let you do something like that? My fondest wish for you was that you never have to have a real job.
Real job.
The one time you worked, I did make you go out and get a job. Right? And what did you do?
I worked at Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, and how was that?
I wore the suit and everything. Did the Cupid Shuffle. Worked the salad bar.
He was the mouse. Worked the salad bar.
Yeah, I learned how to cashier. That was like the big benefit of that, was learning how to count change out and be a cashier,
handle money,
kind of handle people and customer service to an extent.
And handle people, sure.
And then of course the mouse costume. They had a one that was had a fat ring to make it look like he was a big mouse, and then they had one that didn't have it. I wore the one that didn't have it. I was plenty big enough.
You were plenty big.
I was a gigantic rat. Kids ran from me screaming. I wasn't there for a very long time because of a bad boss. Horrible boss, and I didn't want to be a part of it, and so never turned back since. Understood the value of working for myself and understood that pretty quickly.
I could never get past the whole entrepreneurial mindset. I'm just built that way, and I think you are too.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't think I fully knew it when I was 16, 17, but as we've done this thing and as we've continued to build, I obviously wouldn't have it any other way now. What have we learned from each other? I've learned a ton. I didn't know what the hell I was doing when we started this thing. On my side of the fence, it's that we've always done a good job of balancing each other out. You have your experience, a lot of wisdom and experience in trades and electrical and running businesses and books and money and all of that experience and life experience. And I have a passion for production and the lighting and technical things, and so built those together.
You have a real talent for people. your superpower is grace under fire. Nothing rattles this guy. Nothing. The world can be going absolutely to skata. It's a Greek word. You can look it up. It can be going to, to hell in a handbasket, and Austin will be just smooth as can be, and hey, we'll figure it out. And he'll devise a solution, and he'll work hard, and he'll be totally calm about it when everybody else is running around with their hair on fire, me included. That is what Austin has taught me. Believe it or not, is self-control.
What do you think a big turning point moment for us was, or a big struggle that we had to overcome?
Well, what happened during COVID was pretty catastrophic. All our gear was stacked, zero production work. We had no fabrication work. We had no CNEC. We had nothing coming in. Luckily, we had integration clients that were still, willing to spend money during COVID, and we were able to get in, and do those projects while schools were shut down. But the thing that really saved us was having an electrical license, and being an electrical contractor, we were able to quickly pivot because electrical contracting was considered essential.
Right.
It was an essential service, so it never shut down. Being an estimator, I was able to go out and sell several big electrical jobs, kept cash flow coming in, and kept our doors open. But we turned all our guys into electricians.
And that's how we got through. And we were running conduit and digging ditches and pulling wire and doing electrical. We did that for a while.
And we were able to keep everybody on and keep everybody employed. We were
busy.
busier.
We thrived during COVID. In that division.
Because in that division, we had so much business that we actually, our revenues for that year were greater than the previous 3 years combined.
Yeah.
It threw off enough revenue and enough assets to allow us to expand the production department coming out of COVID.
Yeah.
So I guess I'd say that was a pivot. So tell me, what do you expect to get out of this? What's your long-term vision for ELS?
I'd say that I want to innovate and change the industry, the way the industry does things, and I want to be, one of the best providers in the industry and be known for quality and reliability, but also be known for innovation in not only the, technical and wow factor things, but also innovating the way that we treat crew, the way that we do shows, and the way that people are involved in the entertainment industry as a whole, the way that the toxic culture of the entertainment industry, trying to change that and be better about that and just do things differently than the norm of the other entertainment companies. I think that's where I'd like to see us be someday.
I wholeheartedly agree. I want to leave a lasting mark on the industry too, making sure that you are ready to lead this company in the future and have the tools and the mindset necessary to do that. And the way that you treat your people and the way that you treat your clients, I can't think of anybody that does it better us, because that's what it's all about, is ethics. We are not going to take advantage of people. We are not going to gouge clients. We are not going to put in substandard work. We are going to leave this industry better than we found it.